Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're having a wonderful week like always. I will be listening to a brand new album today. It was released this past weekend, and it is the fourth album from Shawn Mendes, and I'm really excited. He's Canadian, I'm Canadian, so I'm always excited to check out a new album from a Canadian artist. And what a coincidence, not only is Shawn Mendes from Canada, but Justin Bieber is as well, and Justin Bieber is a featured artist on this album, track number 9, Monster. Now this album is completely brand new to me. I haven't heard any of the songs yet. Even the songs he released prior to the album dropping this past weekend. He did release Wonder and Monster, his collaboration with Justin Bieber, but I didn't listen to either of those songs yet because I knew that I would be doing this video, so I was saving my first listen of those songs for this video. There are 16 tracks on the album. I will be listening to the Holiday Deluxe Edition, and there's a bonus track. It's a Christmas song called The Christmas Song, and this is a collaboration with Camila Cabello. There is also a live track, track number 16, Can't Take My Eyes Off You, the BBC live version. I don't know if I'll be listening to that track in this video. At the end, if I feel like it, I will. But anyway, enough talking, let's get into the first track, track number 1, Intro.
Speak my truth and do I filter how I feel right before I close my eyes. The only thing that's on my mind.
Alrighty, that was track number 1 and 2, Intro, and then that progressed into track number 2, Wonder, and I don't really have much to talk about when it comes to track number 1, Intro. It wasn't very long, it was just over a minute. In track number 1, Intro, he's essentially saying you have a million different faces, but they'll never understand unless you let them in. So give yourself a chance to get lost in Wonderland, which is what happened to me when I listened to track number 2, Wonder. I got lost in the song and the production. I was definitely vibing to the song, in particular that build up towards the chorus, and then it slammed right into the chorus and I was waving my arms in the air, and it was a total moment for me. And I like the parts with the choir. It sounded like a choir, and I really enjoyed the song overall. In the song itself, he's doing a lot of wondering. He's saying, I wonder what it's like to be my friends. Hope that they don't think I forget about them. I wonder, I wonder. He also expresses his fears by saying, I wonder why I'm so afraid of saying something wrong. But he never said he was a saint. I also like this lyric right here. I'm conditioned to feel like it makes me less of a man when I cry. I wonder when I cry into my hands, I'm conditioned to feel like it makes me feel less of a man. So he also addresses and touches on masculinity and what it means to be a man to society and to men individually when they do cry and show emotion. I'm conditioned to feel like it makes me less of a man when I cry. And a lot of people think that way still to this day, that men can't cry, they have to be strong, they're not allowed to show emotion. I just never understood the concept of worrying about and caring about what people thought about you. I did at one time, of course, when I was a teenager, but probably within the last 5 years, I just stopped caring what people thought about me. And especially when it comes to something like emotion, I mean, there have been times where I was embarrassed when I cried in front of someone in particular, and it was an embarrassing moment for me for what happened. And looking back, I was a little embarrassed, but at the same time, I was just expressing my emotions. So at the same time, I feel like I shouldn't be embarrassed by it because everyone cries, everyone feels emotion. So this concept of conforming to an ideal of what society has for you, like Meg cried in public, you can't cry in general, you can't show emotion. It's just a stupid way to live your life. caring about what other people think about you. So I just want to say that you might be the butchest guy in the world, you might be the most masculine guy in the world, but it's okay to cry. And if someone's gonna judge you for that, then let them. So this is a very relatable song to many people. A lot of people do wonder what it feels like to be loved. A lot of people do wonder if they're being real or if they're being fake or if they're speaking their truth or if they should filter themselves. I wonder what it's like to be loved by you. So to summarize, I loved everything about this song, the production and the lyrics and the story and his voice and everything about it. So now let's move on to track number 3, Higher.
New York in summertime, get close with a bottle of wine. Drinks are getting better, the view is looking nice. As long as we're together, no, I can't get much higher. All eyes are looking at us, but I can't stop falling in love. Say you won't let go. View is looking nice. As long as we're together, no, I can't get much higher. I can't get much higher.
Alrighty, that was track number 3, Higher, and this was such a catchy song. It really does get stuck in your head, and I love the chorus, and the production on this song is very interesting, and I like it. It's not what I was expecting. I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't this, but I'm really liking it. I feel like the lyrics are pretty straightforward. He's saying, I can't get much higher. New York in the summertime, get close with a bottle of wine. Last year was a broken heart. I'm curious to know what happened last year. He was dating Camila Cabello, and he still is to this day, so I don't know why he would say last year was a broken heart, but he could be talking about and referencing many other things as well. Just so I'm clear, I did do a bit of research as to the relationship between Camila Cabello and Shawn Mendes, just so I know when they met and when they started dating. It says here that they met in 2014, and over the past few years, they have publicly supported each other, expressed their love for one another, and created music together. And it says Mendes and Cabello's romantic relationship officially began on July 4th, 2019. So there's an actual day listed here as to when their relationship actually started, their romantic relationship, and that was the 4th of July of last year. So they've been in a romantic relationship now for about a year and a half. I also accidentally came across a news headline on Google, and it says, Shawn Mendes and Camila Cabello absolutely talk about getting engaged. Which I don't know how I feel about that. I don't think anybody wants Shawn Mendes to get engaged and married because, let's be real, we all want to date Shawn Mendes. So now let's move on to track number 4, 24 Hours.
All it takes 24 hours. Sign the check and the place is ours. On me and you, I'll bet it all. You're bulletproof, let's throw away. Sign the check and the place is ours. It's a little soon, but I wanna come home to you. All it takes is 24 hours. Sign the check and the place is ours. It's a little soon.
Alrighty, that was track number 4, 24 Hours, and I loved the piano in this song, and this was another solid song that I enjoyed listening to. It's not my favorite on the album so far. Out of the 3 tracks I've listened to already, technically I've listened to 4 already, but we're gonna disregard track number 1, Intro, and just focus on Wonder, Higher, and 24 Hours. Out of those 3 tracks, 24 Hours is probably my least favorite, but I still liked listening to the song. I wasn't the biggest fan of the lyrics and the actual melody, but I liked the production. All it take is 24 hours, sign the check, and the place is ours. It's a little soon, but I want to come home to you. This is a little bit of a sentimental album, which I love. He is singing about this person. I don't know who. I imagine it might be Camila Cabello. And he is giddy, he's excited. I want to come home to you. It's a little soon, but I want to come home to you. And this goes back to track number 3, how he feels better when he's around this person. I am curious to know if he is talking about buying a house, perhaps, All it take is 24 hours, sign a check, and the place is ours. I also like this lyric here, and people might not understand. Who cares about if they approve? I'd face them all to be with you. I mean, whoever he's singing about in this song, perhaps Camila Cabello, I mean, she's a lucky girl to be in a relationship with a guy like Shawn Mendes. I mean, I'm swooning right now. He seems like a very loving and romantic guy. I will also say that there is one song in particular off of Camila Cabello's newest album from last year that I really enjoy, and it's the song First Mad. Now, if you haven't heard that song, I definitely suggest checking it out. It's very sentimental, but it's very beautiful, and I get a little emotional when I listen to it. So now let's move on to track number 5, Teach Me How to Love.
Ooh, your body's like an ocean. I'm devoted. Touch you, taste, caress you, and please you. Teach me how to love. Put my hands around you. Your imagination. Now I'm fixated. Touch you, taste, caress you, and please you. Teach me, teach me, teach me how to love. Baby, don't stop till you feel the rush. Baby, don't stop till you feel the rush. Teach me, teach me, teach me how to love.
Yes, track number 5, Teach Me How to Love. I adore this song so much. This needs to be a single. This needs to be the next single. I really enjoyed this track. Especially that chorus. You cannot go wrong with the chorus in this song. Touch you, tease, caress you, and please you. Teach me, teach me, teach me how to love. Now, I might be overreacting to this song. I really don't care because I really enjoyed it. I also thought it was cute how instead of using the F word, F-U-C-K, he said effing instead, which you don't typically hear an artist use the word effing. Usually, especially nowadays with music, I find artists typically just use the real word, F-U-C-K. F-U-C-K-I-N-G, but he says effing, which I think is really cute. I will say though, I am not familiar with Shawn Mendes' entire discography. I've only listened to 2 of his albums. I haven't listened to Handwritten from 2015 and Illuminate from 2016. I have listened to Shawn Mendes, his self-titled from 2018. I did a video for that album, and it was, I think, my second album review first listen video. Actually, it wasn't even a first listen video. It was just an album review video. It was, I think, the second music related video I ever did on this channel. So I did that video, but I really do want to check out his first 2 albums. So I don't know how this album compares to his first 2, and I vaguely remember his self-titled from 2018. I haven't listened to it for a while, but I do recall liking it. I do want to mention the lyrics on this album, though I think they're very cute and sentimental and adorable, and they make me feel warm and giddy inside. I feel like they're not the most challenging lyrics in the world. They are a little, I don't know, I feel like the lyrics on this album are a little typical and standard. I'm liking them, they're just not the most fascinating lyrics in the world. But anyway, let's move on to track number 6, Call My Friends.
Right now I'm alone inside the airport, and you're all at a bar in a hometown. I should call my friends and go get high. I wanna go, nobody knows me better than them. I don't wanna miss another birthday. Feels like it's been forever since I've seen you. I should call my friends. I should call my friends and go get high.
Alrighty, that was track number 6, Call My Friends, and this was a very interesting song. I wasn't the biggest fan of this track, and the reason being is that, I don't know, this sounds like a song that I would have listened to when I was a teenager, 15 or 16 years old. It is a very adolescent song. I should call my friends and go get high. I need a vacation from my mind. I want to go. Nobody knows me better than them. I want to feel something again. I should call my friends. I don't know, to me this sounds like a song a 15-year-old would have written. Alone in their bedroom, they were grounded, and all they want to do is see their friends and get high. But at the same time, I do know what he's talking about in the sense that There are times where you just want to be around your friends, you just want to get drunk with your friends, you just want to get high with your friends. Believe me, I'm definitely feeling that right now because we do live in 2020 and everyone's in quarantine, so I haven't really seen anybody in the last few months. I haven't even really seen anybody in general. Maybe the people at the grocery store, but that's it. And the people I see in the park when I go for walks. So I am looking forward to the day where I can just finally go out and get drunk. Not high, I don't do that, but I do drink alcohol when I go out. So I'm looking forward to the day where I can finally just go out and have fun once again. I will also say that I wasn't the biggest fan of the production on this song as well, so overall, I feel like this is probably, I don't want to say it's my least favorite on the album, but it's definitely one of my least favorite tracks on the album so far. So now let's move on to track number 7, Dream.
Hello, hello, hello. Can I hear an echo? Purple, red, and yellow. I can't wait to get home. It's dream, 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 dream. Without you, without you, without you, without you. Hello, hello, hello. Walking through a meadow. It's
Alrighty, that was track number 7, Dream, and I really enjoyed this track, and I think the reason I enjoyed it so much is because the production reminded me of the band M83, who I absolutely love. I love that band so much. In particular, their album Hurry Up We're Dreaming from 2011. It has that same aesthetic to it. Honestly, if the whole album sounded like this track here, Dream, I would just be having an eargasm left and right. He is saying in the song, I'm no good at waiting, all the separation, feeling suffocated, I just need to breathe, and I'm starting to hate it. I can't wait to fall asleep. When I'm apart from you, I just close my eyes, and all I have to do is dream, 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 dream. And I do keep forgetting that this album was probably created during quarantine, so he probably is touching on the pandemic and how a lot of people do feel alone. He might be feeling alone right now and separated from his family and friends, so he could also be addressing that as well on this album. I will say though, I'm still not the biggest fan of the lyrics on this album. I just don't think they're as captivating as they could be. I don't feel like they're as interesting as a lot of other new albums I've listened to this year. Though they are sweet and they are sentimental and they make me warm, they're just not really grabbing me. But that's just my opinion. Who knows? Maybe a lot of you really like the lyrics on this album. But I feel like the production makes up for what is lacking in the lyrics. So now let's move on to track number 8, Song for No One.
I wake up a little drunk, check my phone, I'm all in. Yeah, this is a song for no one. Get on a plane, fly to the most beautiful place you've ever been. I wrote this song for no one.
Already, that was track number 8, Song for No One, and I really enjoyed his vocals on this track, especially towards the end. I won't lie, I wasn't really feeling this song the first couple minutes in, but then it hit that transition towards the end, and I ended up enjoying the song. It's still not one of my favorites on the album, but I thought it was pretty pleasant. In the song, he does say, I wake up a little drunk, check my phone, I'm all alone, 10 missed calls, a couple texts, none of them are who I'm looking for. I will say though, he does sing about getting drunk and high on this album quite a bit. He has touched on those things in some of the other songs on the album. But let's be real, we are in quarantine, so who isn't? He says, yesterday I got pretty drunk, said some things I shouldn't have, told you that I really love you, you did not reciprocate. I always have issues saying that word anyway. Those feelings. I will also say that I'm a little surprised that on Rate Your Music, where people go to rate musicians' albums, his albums are very poorly rated by the public, which I wasn't expecting at all. I thought a lot of people loved his music, but his albums are some of the worst rated albums I've ever seen for an artist on Rate Your Music, which is very, very surprising to me because I always thought he had such beautiful music and beautiful lyrics as well. So I'm very surprised that a lot of people don't gravitate towards his music. His first album only received a 2.1 out of 5. And Illuminate, his second album, was even worse with 1.8. So this is very surprising to me. Even though I'm not the biggest Shawn Mendes fan, I still appreciate his music and I still love listening to his voice. So now we're gonna move on to track number 9, Monster, and this is the collaboration with Justin Bieber.
You put me on a pedestal and tell me I'm the best. But what if I trip? What if I fall? Just let me know. I was 15 when the world put me on a pedestal. Turn me down, turn me down. And take responsibility for everything I've done. And I'm not the monster. Just let me know. And what if I sin?
Already, that was track number 9, Monster, and I don't know if I'm the only one, but I feel like this song doesn't fit in with the rest of the album when it comes to the production. I feel like it doesn't sound like the rest of the album. I honestly don't feel like this song is very memorable. I already forget what it sounds like. It's very short, it's under 3 minutes, and I don't know, to me, it's just a very generic sounding pop song. However, I will say that the highlight of the song for me were the lyrics. You put me on a pedestal and tell me I'm the best. Raise me up into the sky until I'm short of breath. Fill me up with confidence. I say what's in my chest. Spill my words and tear me down until there's nothing left. Rearrange the pieces just to fit me with the rest. Justin is singing about taking responsibility for everything that he's done, holding it against me like you're the Holy One. So, people out to get him, people pointing out all his mistakes and all the things that he's done wrong throughout his life and his career. But at the same time, these exact people who are pointing the fingers aren't saints themselves. I mean, they've done just as many stupid shit as well. That's one thing that I find really annoying and frustrating is when people love to point out other people's flaws and mistakes, when they themselves, the people who are doing the accusing, they aren't saints at all. And if we were to open up the books on their life, we would find just as many mistakes and shitty things. So before you point the finger at someone else, look at your life and look at the mistakes you've made because you're no saint either. I'm just kind of generalizing here. I'm just saying that most people have done things that they regret. So it just sucks because Justin and so many other celebrities are on this pedestal of fame and fortune that we feel like it's okay to point the finger at them. It's okay because they're a celebrity, but it's not okay when somebody does it to us. So overall, I did like the message and the lyrics and the meaning behind the song, but this probably would be a song I would listen to again. It just didn't really grab me, and I just didn't think it was very interesting when it came to the actual melody and the production. So now let's move on to track number 10, 305.
You're my sunlight on a rainy day. Would take my heart with you if you walked away. This feeling doesn't fade no matter how hard that I try. Baby, I change your mind. I don't wanna let go. Never been so sure in my life. If there's a door to heaven, baby, you're the key. Still fine. I'm on a roller coaster ride. Hoping you don't change your mind. I don't wanna let go. Never been so sure in my life.
Alrighty, that was track number 10, 305, and it's 305. I'm on a roller coaster ride, hoping you don't change your mind. I don't want to let go, never been so sure in my life. You're my sunlight on a rainy day, would take my heart with you if you walked away, blah, blah, blah. I'm a mess right now. Um, I love how this album is very sentimental. I'm a sentimental guy, so I love songs and albums that bring out my emotions and make me feel something, but I just wish you would move on to something else and start singing about something else on this album. It's kind of getting old now, and I'm kind of getting bored. And he also says, "You're the one I want to wake up next to every day." I mean, this album's so romantic, and he's clearly in love, and he loves this person. But I don't know, this probably wouldn't be a song I would listen to again. It just sounds like a very generic sounding pop song. I don't really have anything else to say about it, so let's just move on to track number 11, Always Been You.
It's a fairy tale I can't explain, full of words I don't know how to say. It's always been you, it's always been you. It's always been you. And you've seen all my darkest fears. Swear that you've been sent to save me. It's always been you. You're the only one that heart keeps coming back to.
Already, that was track number 11, Always Been You, and I like the part where he says, "It's always been you, it's always been you." That's about it. I don't know, this is another song that didn't really grab me, and I will say, some of these songs are starting to sound the same. I did say multiple times in this video already that I love the production on this album, but some of the songs are starting to blend together. He does say it's a fairy tale I can't explain, full of words I don't know how to say. And without a little twist of fate, I know I'd still be searching, baby. I swear that you've been sent to save me. You're the only one that my heart keeps coming back to. Very beautiful and very touching lyrics, but it sounds like an adolescent wrote these words, and I don't know, I just feel like they're very cliche sounding, and I'm not really enjoying the lyrics on this album. It's always been you, you've seen all my darkest fears, like you've known me for 1,000 years, the boy who's really underneath. I mean, I like the intention behind what he's saying. These lyrics seem to be very personal to him, but I just wish he would have branched out and worded these songs a bit differently because, in my opinion, they are a bit cliche sounding. I feel like I've heard lyrics like these from so many other pop songs. But anyway, let's move on to track number 12, Piece of You.
Yeah, it makes me wanna cry. Don't know what to do. I get with this, I'm obsessive, I'm pathetic and possessive. It just isn't fair. From the second you walk in the room, my head is moving. 1, 2, 3. So do I, maybe I'm selfish. This one touch is so electric. Everybody wants a piece. It's so hard, but it's true.
Okay, that was track number 12, Piece of You, and I feel like this song could have been so much better, but he just sounds bored. And I don't want to say this. I feel bad for not liking this album as much as I thought I would. I really liked the first part of this album, but it slowly started going downhill for me, and he just sounds really bored and uninterested on this track in particular, and it could have been so much more. I feel like it could have been so much better. I like the production, I really like the lyrics too. I like the story. This was another song that I probably won't listen to again because it just sounded. There just seemed something off about this song. It sounded very boring. And I think the reason why I was bored listening to it is because he sounded bored. I guess what I'm trying to say is that I just wish he would put a bit more of his personality into these songs. It almost sounds like he went into the recording studio to record this song after a night of, I don't know, drinking or getting high, and he was told, okay, we need to record a Piece of You now, and then he recorded the song, and then he left. I get jealous, but who wouldn't when you look like you do? From the second you walk in the room, my night is ruined. Everybody wants a piece. I just feel like this song should have been more aggressive and I just wish he would have put more personality into the song, given the lyrics that he's singing about in the song. How he feels like all these men are watching his girl, and every time she walks into the room, all the guys, even girls, stare at her, and he's getting protective of that because he doesn't want someone to take his girl. So I just wanted more. I just wanted more oomph in the song. I guess what I'm trying to say is that for a song where he's talking about being protective of his girl, he sounds very passive in it. But anyway, let's move on to track number 13, Look Up at the Stars.
They're like pieces of art floating above the ground. Before you go home, I should let you know I'm so glad that you came. You know we can fly so far, the universe is ours. I am feeling so lucky, 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 lucky. Up at the stars, they're like pieces of art. I am feeling so lucky, 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 lucky.
I'm sorry, I can't even finish the song. I feel. I don't want to feel this way listening to the album, but I can't fake it. I don't want to lie to you guys and say I'm loving this album when I'm not. And I'm sure some of you hate me right now for not liking this album, but I'm being honest with you, and I'm not liking this album. At this point, I really don't care about what he's singing about in this song, Look Up at the Stars. He's saying that the stars are like pieces of art floating above the ground, whatever, and I'm over it. I just feel like he didn't take any chances with this album, and like I said already, I haven't listened to all his albums. I haven't listened to his first two albums yet, so I don't really know the growth that he's experienced album from album, but I'm not liking this album. And very rarely do I say that during one of these videos, flat out, I don't like the album. I usually give an album the benefit of the doubt, and I try to find something that I like about it, and I like the production on this album, but the first half is definitely a lot better than the second half. I already forget what so many of the songs sound like, and I don't know anymore. So let's just move on to track number 14, Can't Imagine.
I can't imagine what a world would be. All the birds would stop their songs without you. I can't imagine what a world would be. I'd always be alone without you. I can't imagine. I can't imagine.
And that was track number 14, Can't Imagine, and I like the intention. Like I said already, he has a good heart. Shawn Mendes has such a big, loving heart, but I can't imagine what a world would be without you. All the birds would stop their songs without you. All things right would feel so wrong. I like the intention behind what he's saying, but these lyrics are so corny. And like I said already, I'm a very sentimental guy. I like when I read very ooey gooey, lovey dovey songs. That's just who I am, but even I find these songs very corny. It's like a 12-year-old wrote the lyrics. I hate saying that, and I don't mean to sound cruel when I say that. I really don't, but it's just what I'm feeling. I'm just being honest. Maybe I'm being too honest. I don't know. I think maybe I'm being too honest. But anyway, let's move on to... I'm really excited for this song, track number 15, the Christmas song. Now, this is the collaboration with Camila Cabello.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Everybody knows a turkey and some mistletoe. Find it hard to sleep tonight. He's loaded lots of toys and goodies for his sleigh. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you.
Okay, and that was the Christmas song with Camila Cabello, and this Christmas song was never one of my favorites. I still like listening to it from time to time, and this probably wouldn't be a Christmas song I would listen to again. It was nice, I liked the collaboration, but it is what it is. So that is all 60 tracks of Wonder by Shawn Mendes, and I was very disappointed in this album, and going into it, I was really excited. I was really excited to listen to all of the tracks, and I really liked the first half of the album, but then it started going downhill after that, towards the middle. And I liked the production of the album, in particular on the first half. And that's about it. I did like some of the songs on the album. I thought some of the songs were really great, but a lot of the other songs were just very generic sounding pop songs. I don't even remember what a lot of these songs sound like. And the lyrics. I wasn't the biggest fan of the lyrics at all on this album. They were very adolescent and very, very painfully almost cliche. And like I said, I am a sentimental guy. I like my ooey gooey, gushy love songs, but he kind of took it over the top on this album. I just wish he would have sang about something else on the album as well. But you can definitely tell that Shawn Mendes has such a big heart. He has such a tender heart, and he has so much love to give, and he really does seem to be in love with this person. I assume he's singing about Camila Cabello on a lot of these songs. He also sings about being alone and how he wants to be with his friends and he wants to be around this person, and he's getting drunk, he's getting high, and he just wants to be around the people he loves the most. I will also say that another reason why a lot of these songs didn't grab me is that a lot of songs are pretty short, and because they're short, there wasn't a lot of time for me to vibe to the actual song itself. So, because some of these songs were under 3 minutes, some songs were just over maybe 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. It's very hard for me to remember the song, and to me, it wouldn't really be worth it to go back to some of these songs just because they're so short. I also wish he would have incorporated more of his personality into these songs. Sometimes I felt like he was really bored singing the songs, and there wasn't enough passion and energy behind the things he was singing about. I'm really hoping that with his next album, he changes things up just a little bit and he delves further into his artistry because he's such a talented guy that I don't think we've seen the best from Shawn Mendes. I feel like he has a lot more potential. Maybe that will come with age and really tries to push the boundaries of what he can do, maybe even going outside of his comfort zone. So what did you guys think of the album? Maybe you loved this album and you have no idea what I'm talking about. Tell me why. Why do you love this album, and where does this album rank when it comes to Shawn Mendes' discography? Like I said, I haven't listened to his first two albums, so I can't really rank his albums. And I am thinking that maybe I have to listen to some of these songs again to really like them, and maybe I'll have a different opinion about them. But I feel like this is one of those rare instances where I don't have to listen to the songs again to know that I still won't like them. My favorite songs from the album are probably tracks number 2, Wonder. I also like track number 3, Higher. Teach Me How to Love was also another great song. I like that one. And Dream. So I'll probably say Dream, Teach Me How to Love, and Higher and Wonder are my 4 favorite songs. But anyway, I think that's all I wanted to say. So thanks for watching, guys. You can find me on Instagram, you can find me on Twitter, you can message me, you can tell the other artists I should check out. I'm open to any artists from any decade. You can find me on Apple Music. You can check out my playlists and so on and so forth. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Take care.